when I was in high school, we had this statue. I'm trying to tell this story too long, but we had this statue. I went to high school in the suburbs, like Cranbrook and Bloomfield Hills, and there was a science building. And in this building, there was this statue, this bronze sculpture of this man walking with two young folks on either side, one on either side of him. And the plaque for the sculpture said, Robert E. Lee, teacher of youth, right? Like Confederate General Robert E. Lee. And like every student has to walk past this statue every single day. You cannot avoid it for generations of students. And I'm thinking and worried, particularly about the Black students. And so, ultimately, with a little like targeted pressure and some well-timed op-eds in the student paper and so forth, we were able to pressure the administration to remove that particular statue. And it's really funny because I had some classmates reach out in the wake of George Floyd protests when a lot of particularly this past summer when some of the statues, for instance, there was like a statue pulled into a river in the UK, and when some of the statues were being taken down again, they reached out to apologize for not understanding the significance of what we were doing back then. And I raised those points just to say that these symbols contribute to a type of psychic violence that we can't ignore. And when you think particularly about young people having to walk past a statue of the man who defended the enslavement of our ancestors, and not only to have to see his likeness there, but to read something honoring him as a teacher of youth, in the early 2000s. Like, what is this? So, similarly, when we think about, the naming of some of these street signs and so forth, the reality is that, a lot of them, and certainly not all, and I'm not sitting here with an exhaustive inventory, but we're talking about, the honoring of a lot of unscrupulous folks. In particular, we're talking about, just by the very nature of our country, the honoring of a lot of outright racists, a lot of really hateful people. And particularly in a city like Detroit, that today is 85% Black, a lot of people who don't represent, didn't love, didn't care for, didn't work for the people that hold down the city today.